Are you like me and you love to change your nails like literally every week? But in this economy, who has that kind of time, money, and or effort? I am going to tell you about the fastest growing nail trend in 2024, and it is press-on nails. I know that sounds wild. When I was putting on press-on nails, I would go to Walgreens in the summer. I would peruse the aisle and all the different designs, and they were about $4 to $5 a piece, and I would grab a couple packets and I was set. I used to wear them far more than I probably want to or care to admit at this point in my life. Press on nails were always about convenience, they were about price, they were about ease, they were about I was
A child and didn't really need to be spending that amount of money on myself or my nails.
so press-ons were a great option for me. Now, as a busy professional, as a mom, as a full-time stylist, as a full-time entrepreneur, I do not have the time to consistently be getting my nails done and me being in the salon every day. I did not always have a successful application. There were several times where I was very embarrassed as I was blow drying and one would pop off and I'd be like, let me just sweep that. Uh, so I haven't always had a positive relationship with press on nails. But, Mama, I have been on TikTok and I've been scrolling and I really, really, really have been jealous of seeing all of these just beautiful sets. So I decided to start making my own. When I originally decided to start making press ons, I really just wanted some extra income. I found myself in a new city, I found myself in a new job, so I really was trying to build clientele. Times are slow. January, February, summer, everything up until the holidays, really, right now, is the slow time. So, in those moments of, I don't really have anything going on, so I'm just gonna make some press on nail sets. I love painting, it's one of my hobbies. I don't get to do it as often as I used to or as much as I would really like to. Could I make the time? Absolutely, but I'm busy. So I like to habit stack, and I think that this is a really good way for people who are like me, who are busy, who are slow, who are moms, who are students, who are whatever. This is a really good way to hobby stack. Is going to is the term I'm going to call it. Hobby stacking. So, this is a way to monetize that. It's a way to get that creative bug out. I know that when I am just grinding, whether it be at work or at school, I get really like burnt out and I get really stale. And one way that I can kind of break out of that is to get creative. It's to paint, it's to draw, it's to sketch, it's to, so this is a good way to kind of hobby stack, right? I'm going to show you some of the things that I use to start my press on nail business. We're going to go over preparation, painting, packaging, and I'm going to throw in some tips and tricks, marketing and sales, and as well as just a recap of everything that we've gone over today. So, for my preparation, my supplies are going to be press on nail tips. I got most of all of my supplies on Amazon. So, I do have a link to my storefront, my Amazon storefront, down below in the video description. So if you're interested in looking into any of the tools that I have today, it is in my Amazon storefront. The press on nail tips that I have are this brand. They are Jalique EC, sure, that is what it is. They're just soft gel tips. These are a medium almond size. I've really enjoyed these. I've had these for probably, I don't know, 2 years. I've used them a lot on myself and other people for gel X sets as well as making custom press on sets. And I really, really like them. They are very durable. They stand up to any kind of buffing, filing, shaping. The nail glue that I have was actually given to me. So this little press-on kit, this is what we're going to talk about in packaging as well. But this is the nail glue that was given to me. It was bought on Shein. I know. I know, but it was given to me, so that's what I have been using. It is honestly pretty good. I have only used it one time, so I can't really attest to the longevity of it, but I had a set that lasted for an entire week without any kind of popping off. I didn't have to redo any of them. It worked really well. The gel polishes that I use, again, these are going to be linked on my Amazon storefront. I use Beetles, Modelones, Gelish. There are different brands that I have used over the years, and these are just the ones that I know work really well, and they're in the colors that I want. I did purchase a fall color set by Modelones. The base coat and the top coat and the blooming gel in that little kit is not my favorite. I do not use them. I threw them away. I'm just being so for real and so honest with you. The color polishes, they're fine. They're a little transparent. They're more clear. The color deposition is not super strong in those. So they're not my favorite, but they do the trick. The base coat, top coat, and blooming gel, I'm going to tell you why I do not use them. They burn. Like they get really, really, really hot. And that's not good. I don't know if you know that. If you're doing your nails at home, you're doing a little gel set,
You're putting your little fingies in there and you're curing them.
and it's starting to get so hot that you were like uncomfortable.
That's not normal, babe. Mm-mm.
It's not. So we're gonna throw those away. We're gonna go get something else. If you are in a pinch and you need to get something, go to Sally's. Get this brand, Gelish. The other polish set that I use is Beetles. The Beetles set has been the most positive review I can give. It has the most color deposition for the price. There are a couple of drawbacks to it. It is a little thick, so if you're laying it on too thick, it's probably not curing all of the way, and you might have some bubbling, you might have some chipping, things like that. So you really, really want to make sure that that Beetles gel polish, it's a little warm. Like I like to keep it in my pocket or just, kind of body heat. You can even kind of put it in a window for a hot minute. Don't let it, stay there forever. But those little, tips to kind of just warm it up a little bit will help the viscosity of the polish itself so it won't be as thick. But that's my only complaint for the Beetles. I, again, really like it and I've used it for several years now. As far as any of the other preparation we need to do, those are the supplies that we need to have really for the, actual press-on set itself is the nail tips, the polish, the light. That's about it. So you can get a kit for pretty reasonably priced. We are going to get out different sizes of nails. I have selected a 0 for my thumb. I have selected a 3 for my index, a 2 for my middle finger, a 6 for my ring finger, and a 9 for my pinky. I am going to really say that I have a little larger than normal of nail beds, but truly, honestly, it's pretty average. Again, you can put different sizes in there. If you want to have an actual consultation with your client who is purchasing the press-ons, you can DM, they can give you their actual sizes, and that can help a lot when you're trying to make, a custom press-on nail set, especially if you want to charge premium pricing. If you want it to be custom and you want it to be for that person specifically, that's a great option that you can have that consultation. But if you're just trying to make a set that you want to be able to sell to anybody, you want it just to be ready to wear, you want to take to boutiques, you want to have that passive income, this is where you're going to kind of just guess. You're going to put general sizes out there. You can be like Walgreens, you can be like Lee Press on Nails, and you can put all the different sizes in there, and how you divvy up the designs and all of that is kind of up to you and your artistic decision. The prep work for the nail tip itself, I am going to buff out the inside and the outside. I do not want there to be any kind of a shiny coat. I want to make sure that I am creating a rough surface for not only the polish to adhere to, but the adhesive to adhere to. So you're going to have a much better application, much more longevity on the wear of your press-on nails if you are roughing up the surface of the nail tip, and then you're also roughing up the surface of your nail as well. Because when you're trying to glue something to something, it's really important that you have a rough surface. When it's smooth, that glue is going to just pop right off. My experience with that is Legos. If you've ever tried to glue two Legos together, it's really frustrating. Uh, Apparently there's like a whole art to gluing Legos, and I am not prepared for that. So customization. When I am planning out a design, there are times where I'm going to just let it vibe, let it go. I'm going to freestyle. I'm going to just kind of let the wind take me where it wants to go. That's kind of what I did with this set that I'm working on today. The set I am working on today, let me do my ooh, ah, ooh. I really wanted to do some kind of a marbling, and it is Halloween, so I wanted to do Halloween colors, but I got a little carried away. I did. I got a little carried away, and I can admit that because I'm strong and I'm confident in myself. So what I'm going to do on the next 5 nails is I'm going to kind of correct the design, because this, while I wanted it to give spooky and I wanted it to give haunted, it's kind of giving koi fish. And I get it, it's still cute. I get it. It's So we're gonna fix that. I'm going to sketch out kind of what in my mind, I am seeing more of just like a black glossy background with like diagonals of marbling and like more sparsely spread out marbling. Maybe just white on some nails, maybe some just orange on some nails. I'm not really sure. I am going to kind of freestyle, but I do know a general vibe of what I want to do. So that's as far as the customization goes. You can do whatever you want to do. Pop off, mama, make a vision board, make a whole, like storyboard of the design. If you are very type A, have at it. Go for it. Live your best life. If you are more type B, you can definitely freestyle, do what you want to do. You can also copy a design. I understand that copying is, not great, and I'm not necessarily telling you to steal. But when I am teaching people to draw, or I am trying to learn a new art style myself, I'm going to copy. I'm not going to like charge people for that, and I'm not going to like put that out there as if it is my own art. But I gotta practice and I gotta learn how to do those things somehow. So if I am having like a brain fart, or I am having like a creative block, I can copy something, because something that clients love to do is bring in a picture, and I love that, and it's great, and I want you to bring in a picture because I want to know specifically what you want. It is the most frustrating thing when they're like, I don't know, do whatever you want. I'm like, I can't even decide what I want to eat for breakfast, so like I don't want to decide what you're gonna have on your hands for the next 2 weeks. I'm just saying, please tell me what you want. Please bring a picture. No shade in bringing a picture, but your clients are going to bring a picture, and sometimes they do want exactly what is in that picture, and so you have to be able to deliver that, but give your own, swing to it. You want to make sure that it is still your art, and it is still something that you are making your own, but you're taking the greater vibe of it, the greater design, and you're kind of copying it. But you can also make your own custom designs. That's what's super cool about nail art. I love nail art. I'm just gonna, stop being a nerd. So, painting. We're gonna do the base coat. The base coat is super important for making sure that the polish is adhering, and also the durability and longevity of the wear of the polish. Black polish, then I'm going to cure those each for 60 seconds. And once I am done, I am going to put a matte top coat because my next step is going to be a blooming gel. With the black polish, I really want to make sure that I am doing two different methods. On my first coat of polish, I am going to drag the polish. So I really want to make sure that the bristles of the brush are actually kind of like spreading out a little bit and I'm dragging that polish. When I'm using black, it's going to be streaky and it's going to be almost a little transparent, a little see-through on that first coat. So that's why I really want to make sure that I'm just covering the surface area. It's not going to be my final coat. It's not going to be the pretty black coat that I'm looking for. It's really just covering the surface area, getting polish on it so that that second coat can really give you the color deposition that you want. The second coat, as I said, is going to be for color deposition. So what I am going to do is I'm going to float the brush onto the nail bed. I am going to take a good bead of polish and I'm going to apply very, very, very light pressure onto that brush. I don't want to see the bristles sprayed out like I did in that first coat. I really want them to stay together. I want them to stay together and I want to move that polish and just float it down the nail. So this is going to give you the most professional, seamless, glossy, glassy color deposition coat. Then I'm going to do the top coat. The top coat I am going to do right now is a matte because my next step is going to be a blooming gel. I don't think that that's necessarily something that you have to do, and it's not something that everybody's going to recommend that you do, but in this instance, I like to do it because I really want to make sure that that marble is going on very smoothly. When you do not have a top coat or you don't do a matte top coat, oftentimes the second color coat is going to be very sticky. So if you're trying to float or you're trying to drag a marble design or a brush or a fan brush or even like a dotting tool onto that second layer, that sticky coat, it's going to drag and create a texture on your polish. And I want to make sure that when I put that actual final glossy top coat onto the nail, that the black is just smooth and as smooth as it can be. So I want to make sure that I am putting a matte top coat onto the black after I've cured the blacks for 60 seconds apiece. I'm putting that matte top coat on. I am curing that matte top coat for 90 seconds. That is pretty important for the matte top coat because if you do not cure it for an entire 90 to 120 seconds, you're still going to have that sticky layer on top even when you wipe it with alcohol. So it's going to still have that texture. You want to make sure that you're really like taking off that inhibition layer. Then I am going to put my blooming gel on in a very thin coat on top, and then I'm going to dot my design on there. I'm letting it sit for 60 seconds. This is going to allow that blooming gel to do what it does to bloom. It is going to cure for 60 seconds. After I have cured that, then I can use the glossy top coat as my final top coat to seal in the entire design. I really want to make sure when I'm taking that glossy top coat that I am encapsulating the entire nail. I don't want to have so much product on my brush that it is dripping and curling under the nail because that's going to just lead to lumpy clumps that are curing, and when you are applying your press-ons, you're going to have some space in between the nail and the nail tip, and that's going to create any room for moisture, bacteria to harbor and grow because of the air and the gap and the space that's in there. It can also make the shape of your nail look funky if you have any kind of like three-dimensional texture underneath. So making sure that you're not flooding the nail tip, you really want that product to encapsulate the nail, but you do not want it to flood the nail. So now that I have painted, I have done all of my designs, I have sealed it with a top coat, I am going to wipe the entire nail with an alcohol wipe, 70% or higher. This is going to take that sticky layer off the top and it is going to be good to go. Packaging. Let's talk about packaging options for your press-on nail kits. So I've seen lots of different things be done. I showed you the little packaging that I have been given. One of my former students, she makes her own press-on nails. This is some stuff that she got for hers. She had some extras, so she gave it to me. But she got all of hers on Shein, like everything that was in here. I think each one of them came individually. So she just put them all together in a little package. But there's like a little nail buffer, there is a nail scrub brush, there is a file, there is nail glue. This is clearly what your client will need. And then these are just little sticky adhesive tapes that you can stick to this, or you can also put a little piece of paper into the inside of this packaging if you want to customize it. You can put really pretty scrapbooking paper in here, and then you can print like your Instagram handle, your business name. You can make it really pretty and you can customize it any way that you want it to look, but that's an option. And so you can put that in here, and then you can put these on that paper so that your nails actually stick to the paper and not the container itself, so that when your client takes the nails out, she can actually put all of these in, and then this can go with them throughout the day. They can drop it in a bag, they can put it in their pocket, they can take it with them. So if they have any kind of last minute adjustments or fixes that they need to do, if something pops off or whatever, they have a little emergency kit for them. I've seen cellophane bags. I've seen little chiffon, like the little mesh bags. I've seen burlap bags. I've seen lots of different options as far as packaging goes. So really, whatever speaks to you and your brand and what you want to do and the vibe that you want to give off, this can look like anything. And I think that that's part of the fun too, is you get to make your own packaging and your own branding. The importance of branding, if you want to do this full time or you really want to make this a passive thing for you, making sure that you have distinctive branding is important. Is there a specific Instagram name that you go by? Is there a specific business name that you want to be known by? I know that I have an Instagram handle, which is Gabby Does Cosmetology. That is kind of my client salon, page. And I also have Nurture and Nourish, and that's more of my YouTube channel and my resources and my education and the podcasts and different things like that. Having different branding for the different things you do is totally fine. If you want to have a separate Instagram for your nails, then you do your hair, that's totally fine. But you can also cross promote yourself. If you want to for sure do hair full time and that's really what you want to make your money in, then definitely have a dedicated hair page. But if you want to sell nails also on the side, or you want to just generate a little extra income, or it's just a hobby that you have, it's okay to post that on your hair page, because your clients need to know you and they want to know every aspect about you, and that's a part of you and the services that you offer and the art that you create. So don't be afraid to promote yourself doing something different on your hair page. Instructions for your press-on nail kits can look like a bunch of different things. If you want to create that packaging, create that branding, you want to have paper, you can definitely create little info cards on how to prep your nails, how to apply the nails, and how to keep them looking just as fresh as day one. You can also create little Instagram reels, little TikToks, little short 60-second videos on how to maintain your manicure at home. You can train and educate your clients to do what you want them to do. So if you want them to come to you once a month to get a good manicure and get those cuticles off and to maintain hygiene, you can definitely do that. And you can tell them, hey, I want you to come to me for your hygiene. This is your maintenance. But I'm also selling these press-on sets. I can sell them to you in my salon. I can sell them to you online. I can ship them to you. These are the different options that I have. These are what I can offer you as far as a custom set goes if you want your own specific design. Having an Instagram reel to educate your client not only on the frequency of visits, on what they should be doing at home to maintain their manicures, how to apply the nails The opportunities as far as education and content are really endless. You can make little Instagram reels of you designing the nails and painting the nails and applying the nails. You can do client testimonials. You can have videos where they show you what they're doing with your nails on them. You really want to make sure that your client knows the best way to apply and care for their manicure at home. Marketing and sales for your press-on nail sets. This is the time where you can sell just about anything on the internet. And it's really interesting that we live in this time, but it's also kind of a little flooded, right? If you go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, you go on Etsy, you're gonna see a bunch of people offering press-on sets. And so, what is gonna make someone choose you above anyone else? It's your own unique art style, it's your own unique personality and your voice, and what you bring to the table with your content, how you educate your client, how you treat them differently. This is really going to set you apart. Some in-person marketing and sales that you can do are going to local markets and fairs or events, or if there's even a salon that you work at, or a salon I know here does like local vendor days where they will set up a little boutique in their front area once a month. And this is something that you could pre-make a bunch of different sets, and you could make different holiday sets, different times of the year, things that you know that are going to be more popular at a certain point. You can pre-make a bunch of sets and you can take them to these places. You can sponsor an event, you can be there, you can have a vendor booth, or you can leave it and have a more passive income structure that way as well. This is going to be a gateway for people who may not have sat in your chair before, but now they can see what services you offer, your art, your unique personality, all the things that make you you. This is a great way to build clientele. There's a ton of online platforms, Etsy, Instagram, you can make your own personal website, lots of different online platforms you can sell your press on nail sets as well. I encourage you to do this all above board, pay your taxes, do the accounting thing, all of that. I am not an accountant. I'm not going to give you any advice on that, but find someone who can and will. All of these things can be used as strategies to boost your income, to grow your clientele, to make you feel like you're a little less burnt out, like you have a creative outlet, like you can do a little bit of your hobby. Remember, we're going to hobby stack. We're going to enjoy the slow times. I know it's so hard, and you want to be able to be busy every second of every day because that's money, right? And it's scary when there are moments in the salon where we are still. So, this I hope can give you a little bit of a passive income, a little bit of an outlet. If you're a student, if you're a stylist, if you're new, if you're young, if you're old, all of these things are not going to keep you from being able to do this. So, I really hope you learned something today. I hope that you can get out there and you can make your own press-on nail sets, that this is something that you find joy in and find success in. I want to see the press-on nail sets that you're making. So if you are out there, put in the comments, link me your little, stores. I want to see, I want to buy, I want to do all the things. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.